this LED grow light. It's got a big fan at the top, all kinds of weird knobs and buttons at the front, and it's got many different LEDs on its belly. Those LEDs are more colorful than a freshly washed clown's costume. And in the middle of that is a big frog eye looking thing, and I think I know what they tried to do here. The world's best LED grow light is the sun. Well, it's not really LED, but sunlight is incredibly intensely bright and has all the colors that exists in it. Our LED grow lights cannot really recreate that. We could make our grow lights bright by using these COB LED grow lights. Bright stuff. But the color is not really that great. Grow lights with good colors, like this one here, they are not as bright. So what the guys from grow lights tried to do, they combined the two. COB, all kinds of different colors. But has it worked? Let's have a look. I'm measuring the PAR, the light intensity coming out of this thing at 12 inches. It goes very, very high. 4000 is the maximum this meter can do, and it hits the maximum it peaks out. I don't see that very often, but this one does it. Now, even at 24 inches, the thing still goes in the thousands of micromules. One last measurement at the very high 36-inch height, the thing is at around 600 to 700 micromules. This is the PAR map as given by the manufacturer, and I found these values to be correct. So, and what are these buttons for? Well, it's got the CREE button, and this one switches on this COB LED in the middle. That one should probably always be on whenever you use the lamp. Then there's the veg button, which switches on all the little chips that are used for plants in the vegetative state, meaning young plants. This is more bluish, greenish. There's also infrared and ultraviolet. The third button then is for reds. Whenever your plants go into flowering, you need more red light. There are actually 13 different colors, plus the very broad colored COB LED in the middle. So the coloring is interesting on this thing. They really try to put in as many colors as possible. You can actually change the intensity of each of those channels I've just shown you. So here I've totally cranking up the middle CREE COB, and if my plants were small and in the vegetative state, I would use these blue and pinkish and greenish colors. The bigger my plants get, the more I crank it up, and then once I go into flowering, I could add reds here. This is red light until all three knobs are cranked up all the way. This is during the prime of the plant, and once it gets towards its last weeks, then you could probably remove some of the vegetative blue light until you eventually end up with just reds, and which for the past week of your plant or so you give it just red light. You could even pull down the COB in the middle, but I would probably leave it on. The first job I've ever had in my life, the first real job, is I became an electrician in Germany. Did an apprenticeship, and for 3.5 years I built all these amplifiers and loudspeakers. And I've seen a lot of equipment, the inside of a lot of equipment, and I can tell if something is built well or if it's just packed together. So let's just open up this LED light and see what it looks like on the inside. Now, because this unit has so many features, it also has a lot of technology on the inside. I mean, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LED drivers. And then there's this brain computer microcontroller here, which handles the timer buttons and the dimmer knobs. And yeah, that little microcontroller also has its own power supply here. So there's a lot of stuff in there. Let's just keep opening this up. I'm opening up one of the drivers here just to see what it looks like on the inside, and yeah, it looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's all kind of well built. This one here is the microcontroller, the control unit. These are relays that switch the different light channels on and off. And then this little chip here is the main brain of the whole thing. There's computer code running on there that handles the timers and the buttons and the knobs. Alright, this is fun. I just keep disassembling this LED unit. Oops. This one is the heatsink on which the LED chips are mounted. And it's got 4 big PCBs with LEDs. These are all the different colored small chips. They are made by Bridgelux and Epistar. And they have these plastic lenses on there. Those lenses of course focus the light in a certain area. This unit is made for a 3x3 area, so I suppose they made it to work well on a 3x3. Let's see if we can see anything behind this. And well, there's just a bit of this heatsink paste which helps the heat transfer better from the LED chips to the heatsink. The only thing I haven't taken apart is this COB LED. So let's take that off, and it looks big at first, but then it's kind of a small chip. But it's a good one. It's a Cree one. That means it makes lots of light for the electricity it uses. Alright, I gotta put this back together now. I'm impressed with all these features, and I adore them for building something different than the usual LED grow lights. However, there is a problem. You see, with so much technology in there, there's a lot that can go wrong with it. This review unit that they've been given to me must have been new, but I suppose it has been running a few hours maybe in the factory, and it's already accumulating dust here on the fan and also on the components inside, as you can see here. Now, if that's what it looks like after a few hours or a few days of running, imagine what it looks like after 6 months or 12 months of running. You would have to open this unit up and clean it with compressed air. I mean, the unit is built well. What do you do if something breaks? I mean, I would probably try to fix it myself first, so I've tried to find these drivers on the internet, but I couldn't find anything, so it seems they're making their own drivers. Then I've been checking their warranty terms, and interestingly they give 5 years warranty, which is unusually long. However, it is a company located in China. The Chinese companies are good. They make a lot of our stuff, so those people who say made in China is generally crap, that's not true. I don't know how the customer support is, because if your lamp breaks and you need warranty, you probably have to ship it to them to China on your own cost, and it is a heavy unit. It is made out of metal, it's a strong metal case, that's expensive. I wish they would set up support centers in Northern America and Europe that could handle any warranty cases. That would take away a lot of the risk that we have in buying them. By the way, if something breaks, chances are that still some of the LEDs will still work, just because there are so many drivers, so you never completely run out. Cool, I managed to put it back together. Let's measure the real electricity draw of this thing. I've cranked up everything full power, and it draws 343 watt from the wall. And now I turn it all down to the lowest setting, and it draws 64 watts. In conclusion then, this LED grow light will grow good wheat. I have no doubt about it. All these colors will make good light, and the incredibly high PAR values, you will probably get a lot of wheat and good quality wheat. But there's also a lot that can go wrong with it. It's an interesting light. I adore them for doing something special. The purchase link for the grow light is under this video. See you soon.